Let's talk to people we know. So many of us know so many people, but we don't tap into our network and really utilize it or leverage it in any way. LinkedIn gives us a really easy way to see who we know, or at least who we're connected to. And if we're connected to them, it's easier to get a conversation started. So imagine if today I wave my magic wand and say, no more cold outreach, no more cold connections, no more cold emails, no more cold calls. You can only call people you know. What would you do all day? Would you have enough people to talk to? And if you did call people you know, let's say you called between 3 and 10 a day, and talk to them about what's going on in their industry, what's going on at their business, how you might help them, don't you think they'd be curious about what's going on in your industry and how they might help you too? And if you talk to those 3, 5, or 10 people a day, do you think that some of them might be able to make an introduction for you to someone who needs the solution you have? Someone who needs you to help them solve their problem? And wouldn't it be more fun to talk to people who you know and who want to talk to you versus sending thousands of emails out and getting 1 or 2 responses, maybe? Or dialing the phone 100 times and maybe leaving a few messages or talking to 1 or 2 people? Let's talk to the people we know. I'm going to show you how on LinkedIn. So here we are on our homepage, and what we would want to do is just go to our network and then go to our connections and then start to go through them. Now, I have 17,000, so that's going to be a lot of work, but I could search with filters and I could find people in certain locations, or I could find people who worked at certain companies, or I could search by title or by services. So there's lots of search features. I could search by people who I went to school with. This makes it easier because you have more of a connection, and it will narrow down who you should talk to first. But you're already connected to these people. And if you've never had any conversation with them on LinkedIn, this is a great time to say, hey, we've never had a chance to talk. And since there's no networking events in person, there's no trade shows, there's no conferences, I'm reaching out to people on LinkedIn to network. And I'd like to have a coffee with you, Zoom coffee, and learn about what's going on in your industry and find out if there's anything I can do to help you right now. Just networking, not selling, because I don't even know if they need what I have. They may not even be in the right industry, but by talking to them and networking with them and getting to know them, I'm developing myself, I'm helping others, and I'm giving them the opportunity to help me. So you need to go through your own connections. Now, if you have Navigator, it's even easier. You can continue your search in Navigator, and you can narrow this down. So these are all my first degree connections, but I can narrow it down to the ones who post frequently on LinkedIn, because I know that they're the ones who are going to be most likely to answer when I send them a message. And then let's just say I'd like to talk to people with the title VP of Sales. So I can type that in. And I just want to talk to VPs of sales about how they're managing their sales teams, how it is to manage a sales team virtually if they haven't done that before, if they find that there's other issues coming into play right now, what's going on in their industry, what are they learning about sales, what are they learning about their salespeople. I just want to converse with them. So now this has narrowed my search down considerably. Now there's 203 VPs that are my first degree connections that have posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. So I know I have a better chance of them responding to a message that I send. So I can scroll through these and say, my gosh, I haven't talked with Mike Kunkel for a while. In fact, I think I'll just pick up the phone and call him because that's how well I know him. Now, Mike, I don't know as well. I think I might have met him at Sales 3.0, but he's a vice president. I'm going to do a little more research on him. In fact, I'm going to see if I've had any conversations with him in the past by going over to my regular LinkedIn and clicking on message and seeing if we've had any messages. Looks like we haven't. I'm going to take a look at his company and what he's doing. And I'm going to maybe even comment on, some things that his company has posted. Oh, I want to look and see there's somebody else at his company that I know. Okay, Patrick, great. So I'm going to go back to him. I'm going to interact with a couple of his posts so he sees me. And it looks like 5 days ago he posted something, so that's good. He's got a webinar going on. Some other things. So I'm just looking to see what's happening here, so I can find something we have in common to talk about. And then I'm going to go and send him a message and say, we haven't had a chance to chat, and I'm just catching up with people in the industry to find out what's happening, and I'd love to have a meeting with you. Do you want to do Zoom or a phone call? So it's really just that simple to talk to the people that we know. Go to your network, click on it, and start sorting. Now, there's one other thing you can do that makes it, if you don't have Sales Navigator, it makes it easier. And that is where it says Manage Synced and Imported Contacts. You can then export your contacts to an Excel spreadsheet, which will be emailed to you. And it does take a few minutes. So it's not instantaneous. And then you can sort your own contacts on an Excel spreadsheet and really sort with some detail, figure out who you want to talk to, and then go back onto LinkedIn and send a message. Or if you know them really well, just pick up the phone and call them or send them an email. So these are some easy ways for you to figure out who you can talk to that you already know that can help you grow and expand, develop professionally, introduce you to other people, and hopefully even introduce you to some people who need the solution that you have. I hope this has been helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will be glad to answer those and help you talk to the people you know.